think negative feedback from like news articles and things like that can definitely affect my mood. Learning things about the world that I wouldn't necessarily learn on my daily basis, as I'm not a avid news watcher. I think when I see it on social media, sometimes it does negatively affect myself, but I don't think I'm as affected as much with like opinionated things as far as that feedback goes. But I think definitely there is an increase in like information that gets spread on social media. So I think with that comes negative information, and that can sometimes dampen my mood a little bit.
I think that a negative feed does not impact my mood at all. I would define it as a something that you see on social media that would potentially make your feeling or your mood in your day worse.
That a negative feed is something that's like puts you down, like someone's better than you are, and they make it appear that they are better than you. But
a negative feed doesn't really impact my mood. I tend to not have a negative feed, in my opinion, on my social media accounts. And in my personal opinion, a negative feed would be anything that is just hateful or harmful to someone else that other people post.
I think I see it on other people's accounts. I usually use like TikTok and different media outlets like that where there's like other creators, and I think in the comment section I tend to see sometimes hateful comments or things like that. I'm not generally one to participate in it because I feel like I don't really need to add on to anything, but I am one to pull a punch like for a joke every once in a while, I will admit. I tend to like join a comment section if there is like a joke going on with it, but I don't know, I'm more of a viewer, if anything, I guess, but I definitely do see it.
I don't really engage with hateful or harmful content, only because it really puts a bad reputation on me and friends and even the school that I would go to.
Rude, I might report it, but usually I just try to ignore stuff like that and scroll past.
So people posting themselves, are they narcissistic? I feel like some people can be, like people that like really want to showboat and do all that whatnot.
I don't think people who post frequently are narcissistic. I think everybody has a little bit of narcissism in them realistically, but I think that it doesn't increase or decrease due to how much you post, and I don't think that tells you about your character. I think people just genuinely want to share about themselves. I mean, if they find themselves interesting in what they do interesting, they want to share it with other people, hopefully maybe make connections. So I don't think that makes them narcissistic necessarily. And I don't think if I increased my posting or if anybody else increased their posting, it would necessarily increase their narcissism as well. So.
Some of my friends do make it all about them. They'll be at like an event or something and then they'll make it all about themselves. And it's just, it's not the greatest, but what can we do? Social pressure. I believe, yeah, when you like post something, you want to, you know, everybody has it. They want it to like succeed, like get a bunch of likes or whatever, and get a bunch of views or whatever. But
maybe 4. I wouldn't really get pressured by social media only because it's an app.
I can't say that I'm not unaffected at all. I think there are things where it comes to trends or maybe more positive things that I could definitely see myself being affected by, sayings that I wouldn't normally say, things like that. But I also think like if you are a very impressionable person in general, negative feedback can also do the same thing to you. So I feel like there are trends that can be sometimes dangerous or seen as not within that person's character that can be kind of pushed onto somebody as they see it, you know, everybody's doing it since it's on social media. It's quite in that abundance thing. So yeah, I think it could affect somebody negatively just if they're consuming a lot of that media.
Well, I actually have a story. I had pressure on me once in social media. Some kid posted a picture of me and on Twitter, and it got lots of comments about it, and it really pressured me into looking better. And you know, it probably in the end it probably did help me, but at the same time it's something that no one should really go through. Negative comments all the time. and that's something that really pressured me into, you know, working out, making sure like I don't look like a certain way, maybe fix my hair, who knows. I just didn't want to be in those negative parts anymore, and that's something that shouldn't really bother anyone.
I think you can get a general idea of somebody's personality off of social media. I think that it's not the complete thing. Obviously, social media is a very edited version of yourself, right? Everybody just posts what they want other people to see. And so, I mean, even if it's in hindsight and they don't want to see it, they originally had an intended, you know, point that they wanted some people to see it. So I think that it's a good reflection of maybe how you would like to present yourself, which is a part of your personality as well. But I don't think it gives you the whole picture of somebody's life. I think it gives you just a small glimpse into it. So
I believe you can. A lot of people go on social media to flex what they own, basically. Like, I believe that's like an indicator, like, oh, this man's like showboaty. He's kind of, yeah. I feel like it can, and it can show like a nice side to people, but it's kind of like a front.
Yeah, I do definitely think your personality trait can accurately be described through social media.
I do think that you probably can tell some traits about people based on their social media profiles, but I feel that it could be misleading, but I definitely do think some of them could be true personality traits.
Yes, 100%.
oh, definitely.
I do think people can shelve their introverted selves with the use of social media.
Because some people will be like, oh, what they can do? Like, you can be hateful, and there's no consequence.
You can be as introverted and extroverted as you want, both in real life and on social media. But I feel like if you are more introverted, it is an easier position to come across as more extroverted on the internet, as you're not face to face with people.
But if you like showed it, if they were doing it in person, then they'd act completely different because they're like right there. So I believe 100% that people can kind of be different when there's a screen between them, and yeah, definitely.